Hey everyone, I'm Ryan. You're watching 60 Cycle Hum, and I've got a just ridiculous stack of cheap plastic pedals here, all provided to me by Sweetwater. Thanks, Sweetwater. I put in this order probably last year, and they finally came in. I know there's been big, production supply issues with COVID and everything like that. So they're finally back in stock. As of me recording this video, you can go to Sweetwater and buy many of these pedals now. All right, what do we have here? We've got the HM300. Might as well just unbox all this stuff right now, right? I love the color, bright pink. He has the box. He doesn't have the box. This, of course, is a clone of the Boss HM2. I'll probably do a comparison at some point in this video. The UV300. Bye-bye, box. HD300. I forget what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a Boss MD2 Mega Distortion. Ultra Octaver. Attack of the Clones here. DR600. Any guesses? This one I'm excited to try out because it's got a spring setting. Will this finally be an Affordaboard pedal with a decent spring reverb? Ultra Tremolo here. A clone of the Boss TR2. Now this one is interesting because I'm pretty sure this is the only Behringer pedal that isn't a direct clone of anything. It is a digital multi-effect. It's got stuff like delay and phaser course, flanger, tremolo, pitch shifter on there. I know I don't have a camera on it, but I am just getting these in the trash can, nothing but net. I'm so good at playing basketball with boxes, guys. None of that is true. They're all just landing on the floor. A TO800, obviously a tube screamer. A VD400. From what I understand, this is supposed to be a clone of the Boss DM3. I'll do a comparison against the DM2W that I have, but from what I understand, they're not the same. The DM2 and the DM3 are not the same delay. They're closely related, but not the same. We'll see how they compare, right? In Affordaboard tradition, I'm going to use an affordable guitar, this time the Squier Starcaster. I played it the other day, and I've been thinking about it since. I really like this guitar, so I just want to play it again. It's got humbuckers. I think that'll work really well with a bunch of these pedals. Maybe I'll switch to something with single coils if I feel it's appropriate. All right, here is my dry tone. Super dry, barely damp at all. All right. The HM300, starting off with all the knobs turned all the way down, which is the opposite setting you would expect for a pedal like this. Let's actually mirror the settings that I already have on the HM2. We'll do the joke setting that everyone thinks is the real setting, but I never run an HM2 that way. No, thank you. That was too loud. If you want a pedal that goes too loud, this pedal goes too loud. All right, We should do a comparison to the HM2 now. It does the same sort of thing. The gain character is the same, but this HM2 just sounds a lot better. This is a MIJ, by the way. I've bought and sold probably 4 or 5 HM2s over the years. It was always just as a flip, just trying to make a profit. But I ended up landing on this one, and I honestly feel like this is a magic one. There's something a little bit different about this one where I connected with it, where it's like, whoa, that sounds better than the other ones that I've been buying and selling. So I've kept this one. So I might be cheating right now by having an extra special magic HM2, if there is such a thing. I wish it sounded as good as the HM2, because it would be great to have a fully great sounding budget clone of the HM2. Boss is coming out with a Waza HM2, but still it would be nice to have like a $20 version. And technically it is, but I'll say it sounds like a $20 version. I think if you're HM2 curious, this is definitely a route you could go to explore that sort of sound, to see how it works with your rig. And then if you feel like you like it but you want it to be better, you did a taste test and you can move on to other versions of that circuit, which is kind of the strong point of cheap pedals like this. If you're curious about something, you don't have to fully invest in it. You can try it out for a while, see if you want to keep exploring that direction. All right, I want to check out this digital reverb. I think it's compelling that it has stereo in and out. That doesn't sound so bad. That's on the modulate setting. All right, on to the room setting. Is doing it. Not really the reverb sound that I tend to use. Gate. That little bit of splash there is making me feel pretty hopeful for the spring setting when that comes up. Of course, it's the last setting on here. Hall. That sounds decent. Reverbs have been really tricky for the Affordaboard. That is really the line in the sand between pedals that are almost always bad because they're budget and pedals that are acceptable past a certain price range. So far this is sounding fine. I'm not getting any really weird, crazy, glitched out digital sorts of things that I've gotten on many, many, many digital Affordaboard reverb pedals. Yeah, not bad. Let's go for a richer mix on that hall setting. Plate. Sometimes plate will have a really nice little kind of surf appropriate splash to it. Not so much in this case. It's doing more of the big, lush sort of plate sound. Let's go all the way wet on that plate. I feel like I need a fresh tune. All right, the moment of truth. At this point, I'm not sure I'm gonna endorse this pedal. The spring is really gonna push it over the edge. Am I into this pedal or am I not into this pedal? I think this is supposed to be an RV6 clone. Let me look that up. RV5. It's supposed to be an RV5 clone. I think the RV6 has a drippy reverb. I don't know about the RV5, so maybe this is a faithful clone of the Boss RV5. Well, I guess the Affordaboard search for a cheap drippy reverb is still on because this is not doing a drip. How much does this go for? I'm sure this is one of the more expensive Behringers. Yeah, this one's 36 bucks at Sweetwater. It really is one of those tricky things. With Affordaboard pedals, reverb is really tough. I think because of the amount of high quality digital processing that is required to do reverb really well. I think that's the barrier that keeps cheap pedals from sounding really great as reverbs. Like fuzzes, they sound best when they sound broken. They're great Affordaboard pedals. Drives, distortions, overdrive, stuff like that, they're great candidates for Affordaboard stuff. Delays, they tend to work out just fine, but something about reverbs. There's very few Affordaboard reverbs where I'm prepared to sign off on them. For 40 bucks, for 36 bucks, it doesn't sound bad. It's just not scratching that drippy reverb itch that I've been wanting scratched by cheap reverb. Vintage delay. Ooh, yeah, that sounds like an analog delay. I like it already. It's doing the crispy, kind of like overdriven delay circuit sort of sound that you get from analog delays. I want to compare it to the DM2W. It sounds really good to me, without a comparison. Let's do similar settings. Visually anyways. I think I might be on the custom mode here. Let's switch it over to standard. Yeah, the knobs don't line up the same across the two pedals, which shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Yeah. No, I think this is a really good option. If you want to try, you know, some analog delay sounds on a budget, how much is this? That's what I want to know. How much is that? 20 bucks. Yeah. If you're analog delay curious, 20 bucks, yeah. Totally. Get this to try it out. If you find that you love it and that's like a road you want to go down, then you invest into more like specific options later. That's a great first analog delay. Or just you need to pack out your board with an extra analog delay for that extra layer of craziness. You want to get extra edgy? Get yourself a budget vintage VD400 delay by Behringer. Yeah, I like that. I want to do the Ultra Octaver. Might have to pair this with some sort of dirt to really explore it. Sounds kind of glitchy right off the bat. So you've got a low octave and then a sub octave. I'm not sure what the range means. I like that mid setting though. Oh, I see. This is the blend knob. All the way to the right, you get your dry signal mixed in. All the way to the left, it's just affected signal. I'm not sure you guys will even be able to hear that. It's doing the analog octave thing where if you do a chord or multiple notes, it freaks out, which is kind of fun if that's the sound that you want. I think the second octave, that sub octave, is way too much for a guitar rig, but it would probably sound great through a bass rig. We'll keep that in line and pair it with the HD300 Heavy Distortion. What did I say this was? The Boss Mega Distortion or Ultra Distortion or whatever it was? Some Boss distortion I've never messed with. Watch, this is gonna be my new favorite thing. That's got some roar to it. Yeah, right off the bat, I like that. That's a bunch of fun. Nice and thick and meaty sounding. It's got a bit of a noise floor to it, but that's high gain pedals for you. I'm not totally sure what the relationship is between the gain boost and the distortion knob. Sounds a little bit redundant. It kind of feels like a presence control. I know that's not what it's doing, but that's kind of what it feels like. It kind of sounds nice on this lower gain setting. Like, this is the sound you'll use when you're jamming at home and you just want to feel epic. But in reality, this is what you'll use when you're recording or gigging or just jamming with people. Because it'll hold up in the mix just a lot better. Trust me. Trust me on that. Yeah, that Octaver sounds a lot better hitting the dirt. I think this is very compelling. There's something to that. I feel like I'd much rather recommend this over the HM300, which is trying to be a very well-known and desirable boss pedal. This one is being a boss pedal that I have no experience with, but I'm really liking the sound of it. It's making me think I should track down that boss pedal. The Mega Distortion, I think it was. Digital multi-effects. It has stereo through. You think I should test to see if it has stereo out? We've got parameter knobs for each setting here. For setting is a pitch shifter. Am I out of tune or is that just the pedal? There's a really interesting, like, shaky little vibrato thing happening with a weird, like, digital click at the same time. Like a phaser setting in the middle of this parameter 1. Yeah, there's some sort of modulation across parameter 1. It's doing an interesting, like, faux 12-string sort of thing. You'd need to have a very specific application for those sounds. Let's see if the rest of this holds up. I want to bring the reverb back in for this. Either a depth or shape control on parameter 2. And obviously speed right there. Does it do tap tempo or anything like that? No, I don't think so. Is doing it. That tremolo is just fine. All right, delay now. There is a stereo thing happening. I swear I'm out of tune right now. yeah, that delay's just fine. It doesn't do spaceship noises, but fully digital delays don't always. It's clearly chopping out the signal and glitching out, which is kind of a fun noise too. All right, we got a phaser now. Actually, it reminds me of the first pedal I ever had, which was a Boss Hm-2, I think. The 4-knob phaser. I'll say that so far, of all the Affordaboard multi-effect pedals that I've messed with over the past year or so or something like that, this one's holding up the best. Usually you get like 2 settings that are interesting and like 5 or 6 settings that are just hilarious garbage with really, really cheap multi-effect. Chorus. Sounds like it's doing a stereo thing. That's fun. I could have used this the other day for my for my stereo chorus video. I could have had one more chorus in that video. I'm still learning that riff. I don't have it quite right yet, do I? It's doing a really decent chorus sound though. There's a lot to work with there. Oh, it gets freaky and weird. Yeah, I actually like that. That's not bad at all. On the max setting, something is freaking out in the circuit and I'm getting like this weird static pulsing noise. some sort of weird clock noise. Oh, that is unsettling. That makes me feel physically uncomfortable. All right, there's one more setting on here, the Flanger. I want to swap out this reverb for something with some dirt to it. Go back to that heavy distortion. There we go. Well, it does the over-the-top, like, jet flange thing. Yeah, I think this holds up. I think this is one of the best Affordaboard multi-effect pedals that I've tried so far. I'll have to do a standalone video where I compare it to a bunch of other Affordaboard multi-effects. But everything on there worked. And that alone defeats the vast majority of them. Everything worked and didn't do really crazy, weird sounds or sounds that I thought were just like throwaway, useless sounds or just a repeat of a previous sound. Like so many of those cheap Affordaboard multi-effects are just like, oh, here's 3 different choruses. And none of them are really that different. So yeah, I think that's good. I could recommend that. What's left? The vintage tube overdrive and the ultra vibrato. Oh, and the ultra tremolo. I'm famously not a huge fan of tube screamers, but I keep this TS9 around. It is Keeley modded. It has the Mod Plus mod on there. It doesn't make a huge difference. It still sounds like a tube screamer. Don't tell Keeley that I said it doesn't make a huge difference. It does make it sound better. I'm sure this is trying to be a TS808 anyways, and this is starting off as a TS9. So there are going to be differences. There are differences between every tube screamer that's ever been made. I'm picking up like a nasal characteristic to it. Similar nasal characteristic from this. more clear though. It doesn't have quite as much of a filtered sound. Yeah, it just has a lower fi, sort of like telephone booth sort of sound going on. That could be your secret sauce though, I don't know. Honestly, not that different though. They're doing kind of the same thing. It's really a matter of taste at this level of difference. Does anyone like that sound? I don't know. Tube Screamer lovers, tell me, did you think this sounded good? Like I said, I don't like Tube Screamers for the most part. So I don't typically play into them well because I don't feel anything pleasant when I play a Tube Screamer. Does that make sense? Maybe I should keep it around to be the dirt before these two pedals here though. No. I want to go back to that Heavy Distortion because I liked it. If you like a pedal, it doesn't matter the cost. Doesn't matter who built it. If you like it, that's a good pedal. That's just the reality of it. We shouldn't judge pedals or any other musical instrument any other way. If you like it, it's good. That's it. There's no other metric to worry about. And anyone who tells you that you shouldn't like it because they don't like it is wrong. Your personal tastes are the main factor in whether or not a pedal is good or bad. All right, ultra tremolo. You got a triangle on the left, a square wave on the right, and in between, I'm assuming it blends into sort of like a sine thing. Nah, I think it just gets more square in the middle. Well, it does the hard chop thing well. I'm not sure this is a trim I would use for like a classic surf sort of application because it is such a hard chop even on the triangle setting. With some tweaking, pulling back the depth, that's decent. You could fudge a little bit of like a Fender blackface sort of trim out of this. Let's go spaghetti western with this. It certainly works. I'd say that it's a good representation of the Boss TR2, which I have very limited experience with. It's been years and years and years, but that's how I remember them working. You've got this triangle to square wave sort of knob here, and then a depth control and your rate, and that's it. It's very simple. If you like the sound that it's giving, then get it. I typically like a trem that's got a smoother, more like amp style trem sort of sound to it. So this isn't really the style of trem that I'm going to find myself using very often. All right, ultra vibrato. I'm excited for this one. I really liked the Behringer tailspin vibrato. And a lot of people said that it was based on this, or a portion of the circuit from this. So we'll see. It's got a little slider switch here, unlatch, bypass, and latch. I'm assuming that means like momentary latching options, which could be very fun and useful. Yeah, I could get into that. I'm not totally sure what the rise knob does. Oh. I think it's how quickly the effect is engaged. Yeah. Yeah, it like blends in and out. All right, let's try the bypass thing. Oh, it does nothing. I don't know why that option is there. It does nothing. All right, unlatch. That's fun. For a little bit of burst of vibrato when you need it, you can put it on the unlatched setting. It brings something a little extra special and fun to the table with that unlatched setting. I still have no idea what bypass does. It seems to just turn it off permanently. No idea why they included that. It seems like you just need latch and unlatch, right? I think that's a winner. I like that. What's left? Did I do them all? All right, let's figure out which ones I like the best. I really like this. I think this is a bunch of fun. I think the digital multi-effects was good. I thought the vintage delay was good. I thought the tube screamer, I thought it tube screamed. So I'm going to include it. I think that this is a decent buy for anyone that's tube screamer curious. If you're curious about tube screamers, you don't want to spend a bunch of money on it, go for it. It's not really my flavor. But I can't say that it's bad. I think it sounds like a tube screamer. All right, so 5 pedals out of 9 that I feel like I can recommend, which is doing pretty good. I mean, the Ultra Tremolo, there was nothing wrong with it. I think it's a good representation of the original circuit. The digital reverb, I think there's just better options out there these days. It's cheap, but with reverb, I think you should spend some more money. If you are taking reverb seriously, I don't think there's really anything in the affordable pedal sort of range that I've found that does a good like multi-reverb sort of thing. Like, I think you have to be above like $80 to get into good reverbs. It's just the way it is. The Ultra Octaver is actually fun. Maybe I should include that in this. I'm going to throw in the Ultra Octaver. It was fun before distortion. I love a fun low octave before distortion to get that like Tom Morello sort of thing going on. And then the HM300, it wants so badly to be the budget option for people shopping for the HM2. And I think it can be, but I think you should adjust your expectations. Don't expect it to sound exactly the same. It sounded a bit filtered, a bit muddier, not quite as alive and huge as this vintage MIJ HM2, which I said might be a magic one. I went through a bunch of them before I found one that stuck. So maybe this sounds like most HM2s, and mine just sounds special. But this isn't going to kick my HM2 off the board anytime soon. All right, let's go through what we've got here in the winner's circle. The winner's line, it's not a circle. Vintage tube overdrive for your TS-808 sounds. Ultra Octaver for your glitchy, low octave sounds. Show your bass player that you don't really need him, but you keep him around because you like him. Get yourself an octave pedal. And this thing. Just a distortion beast. Like, you want a pop punk sound in a hurry? There you go. There's something to that. I want to mess with that live. I want to have that unlatched option live, just to throw in that little extra special bit of weirdness that blends in and out. The vintage delay. Yeah, worth the price of admission there. It does the vintage Boss analog delay thing really well, in my opinion. And then the digital multi-effects here, I don't want to spend my whole life going through this thing again. You saw what it did earlier in the video. You know what I like to do. I've got to end with baritone, right? Was that music? That resemble music at all? I don't know. You tell me. What do you think of these? What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? Which are you thinking about buying? Which will you never buy? Discuss the ethics of buying cheap plastic Chinese-made pedals down in the comment section. And you know what? Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude and nasty comments, support us on Patreon, buy a shirt if you're naked, click all the links down below. Sweetwater sourced me with all these, so huge thanks to Sweetwater. Click the links to make it worth their while if you're gonna buy any of these or anything else really. And you know what? Stay grounded. Bye everybody.